In the Chess Olympiad of 2024, the crucial round 9 encounter between India and Uzbekistan, Gukesh versus Nadirbek Abdulsattorov was going to be the most important clash of all. But in the top clash, there was a major controversy that erupted, and that controversy was raised by Vladimir Kramnik, the former Russian world champion and the current coach of the Uzbekistan team at this point. Now, what was the controversy all about? It was alleged that Vladimir Kramnik has filed an official complaint about phones in the playing hall, and he specifically pointed it out at Chessbase India, who are also showing all the chess matches live through their broadcasting that is going on in Budapest. Chessbase India said their phones used to record video are all in airplane mode. The phone on board 1 of India versus Uzbekistan was removed but then returned. So, Vladimir Kramnik believed that yes, the phone that was used in the Gukesh versus Abdulsattorov encounter was kind of sending signals and that it was helping the Indian team. But every single thing at this stage came out to Kramnik's statement. Now, what did Vladimir Kramnik say? According to the FIDE rules state, without the permission of the arbiter, a player is forbidden to have a mobile phone or other electronic means of communication in the playing venue unless they are completely switched off. This is for the player. If any such device produces a sound, the player shall lose the game. So, if your phone is on silent, if there is a vibrating sound, you will still lose the game. The opponent shall win. Unless authorized by the arbiter, it is forbidden for anybody to use a mobile phone or any kind of communication device in the playing venue and any contiguous area designated by the arbiter. Now, this is the rule upon which Vladimir Kramnik alleged that yes, the phone should not be used, because Kramnik gave a series of tweets. In that he said, summary of today's story. It's time for FIDE taking anti-cheating seriously and professionally instead of just pretending. Anti-cheating regulations implementations must be way more strict. Allowing mobile phones, lot of random quests in the playing hall should not be allowed. He's basically focusing upon this point that FIDE has highlighted in it. But he goes on to say, it is not a vendetta against Chessbase India. They are nice people and it's not aimed against them, but simply rules are rules. FIDE must reassure implementing them for everyone equally. Players must feel secure, especially having on their own lots of restrictions and getting forfeited even for a credit card. There have been occasions when some random pens or random pencils have been bought and they have still been disqualified. There have been instances in the past. All checkings before games causing participants troubles and times, making little sense if you let anyone in playing area at the start and give away permissions to bring devices. In the middle of a round using mobile phones, I have seen it many times here. He is alleging that yes, already the checking is causing a lot of problems, but getting all these kind of devices in the middle of the round is causing enough distractions as it is. He is very, very clear, Vladimir Kramnik. It is absurd when you forbid pens and disqualify for a SIM card without a phone and allow phones without a SIM card, and often with, as I noticed many times during an event, for spectators. Phones must not be allowed for anyone in the playing area, period. So, Kramnik has given this statement out that he is against phones being used of any kind whatsoever. But FIDE's own Chess Olympiad regulations have something else to say, because when you look at photography and television, now the grey area is a mobile. Does it come under a video camera? Does it come under a television bit? This is where digitally everybody has to be very used to it, because according to rule 4.20.2 in the FIDE regulations, when it comes to broadcasting, taking of photographs in the playing area is restricted to accredited reporters with the organizer's permission. The use of flash is not allowed. An exception could be made only the particularities of the venue force the photographers to stay more than 6 meters away from the players, and even in those exceptional circumstances, it is restricted to the first 5 minutes. So, only the first 5 minutes can come. But as far as television and digital media is concerned, film or television cameras and recording instruments may be brought into the playing venue only by the organizer's permission. So, Chessbase and whatever other broadcasters have been using, normally what happens, FIDE are the official rights holder. They will then allow you to relay the footage at free of cost and ensure that it is done at a specific time interval. Already, whatever the host broadcasters are sending out, FIDE already has a 15-minute time delay, because to disallow cheating and all this, it's never real time. The moves and all have finished 15 minutes prior. So, that is why this particular thing, Chessbase India, falls under this particular criteria. Film or television cameras and recording instruments may be brought into the playing venue only by the organizer's permission. Now, Chessbase India apparently did take FIDE's permission, and that is why they were allowed to shoot every single game that is there. They are just not shooting India. They are shooting all the other games also. Iran versus Norway, Iran versus some other thing, Norway versus Armenia, all the other random events that are there, they are shooting that also. There are two questions that need to be brought here. Kramnik's decision to raise the issue now, especially when the gold is at stake. You remember, the India Open, the men's category are only one win away from a gold medal. Why did he have to raise the issue now? Considering that for the previous 8 rounds they were doing the same thing. Why only against Uzbekistan did he have to raise an issue? Secondly, it is very, very important to clear this misconception that Kramnik has anything to do is against India in this particular case. No. Vlad has always been a very, very humble and a great world champion. Let's make no bones about it. In 2019 and in 2019 he personally coached Gukesh and Pragnananda for a good couple of hours. He gave them tips. Vladimir Kramnik hoped that Russia and India would both win the gold medals in 2020. Now, I can understand he's been making a lot of accusations to many players in the past, but he is a stickler for the rules. He believes that phones shouldn't be allowed in any capacity. But then how can you tell that to the broadcasters? They took the permission. That is why they were allowed. Otherwise, they would never have been allowed to broadcast. That is the basic rule of the thing. Again, let me tell you, no rules were flouted. But because cheating is such a huge problem that might happen in chess, this kind of reaction is expected also. But accusing Vladimir Kramnik that he's got something very inherently biased against India, that is totally wrong. Vlad, if you meet him, is one of the nicest personalities that is there in the chess circuit. And Chessbase India also very categorically, they just ensured that they followed the rules, and that's where the matter ended. But what do you think? Is this issue by Kramnik a legitimate one? And do you think the timing is slightly off? Personally, in my opinion, the timing seemed off, because he should have raised the issue at the very beginning of the round, in round 1 itself. But then rules are rules. 4.20.2 answers Kramnik's question in that way. Thank you so much folks for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.